Hello readers, I'm back again with another bookish vlog. This vlog is going to focus on some cozy read recommendations because let's face it, the world is not cozy right now. It's been a really rough month, I think, listening to the news and everything that's going on. And then plus we have winter, and here in Michigan we've got all kinds of weather. We've had rain, snow, lots of wind. So I'm ready for some cozy reads. One of my favorite cozy reads is the Anne of Green Gables set by L.M. Montgomery. I love this set so much. I just love L.M. Montgomery's style of writing. And of course I love Anne. She makes the everyday seem special, and right now who doesn't need that? She is a quirky little girl, 11-year-old orphan who sort of accidentally ends up with this couple that asked for a boy from the orphanage, but they got her. And thank goodness they did, because she is full of life, super energetic, funny, smart, and she knows who she is and she doesn't apologize for it. So I really love the character of Anne. This series follows her from childhood up to adulthood and her children's lives. But I highly recommend just starting with the first book. Another series that I really love is the Penderwicks. I know I've mentioned these before, but I just so love these books. They're very similar to Little Women in the fact that there are four sisters. They meet a boy who is the only child of the estate owner on the estate that they stay in for their summer rental. It ended up that their normal summer rental was booked, and so they had to end up on taking a different rental, and this one seemed perfect because it took dogs, and they have a dog named Hound. So they meet up with Jeffrey, who is the boy that's lonely, just like Teddy was in Little Women. The four girls range in age from 12 to 4, and the book follows them through all their antics and adventures. I would say that the themes in this book are extended family, sort of found family, because they include Jeffrey into their family eventually. There's 5 books, and it follows them through several years of their lives, from being children all the way up to a wedding. I so love these books. It is tech-free, childhood fun, imagination, and it reminds me of books I would have read as a kid. It's very reminiscent of my childhood. It celebrates family and just the everyday life drama that makes up all of our lives. These books you will want to read and reread. I'm going to mention some cozy reads for adults, and one is a cozy mystery series that I have loved. It is the Shady Hollow series by Juno Black, and the characters are all animals, like talking animals. They live in Shady Hollow, of course. The characters are really engaging. While it's not a great literary work of art, and it's not supposed to be, it's supposed to be a cozy read that lets us escape from real life, and that it does. I love the characters. We have Vera Vixen, who is the main character. She is a reporter and a fox at the local newspaper. And then we have her boyfriend, who is Orville, who works on the local police force. And we have her best friend, Lenore, who runs the bookstore. She's a raven, and she runs, of course, Nevermore books. The police officer is a bear. Joe the Moose has Joe's mug, and he runs like the diner in town. So like all these characters work together, and they have this community that they've built up. To me, it reminds me of a cross between Wind in the Willows and Agatha Christie. But they solve these murders, and they're just cute, cozy little reads. And they do cover some things, like, which I thought was really interesting. They do talk about in some of the books about how different species are intermarrying. Like, for instance, Vera Vixen and her boyfriend, who is the bear that works at the police station, and she's a fox. So they do talk about how their parents in different generations aren't super accepting of the different species intermixing. So it does kind of have some like real life kind of type issues. But at the same time, it's just a warm, cozy hug. I love their description of their dens and their homes. And my next favorite cozy read is The House on the Cerulean Sea. I don't know if any of you have read this, but it is so good. It is worth a reread. I actually have the second book now, and I haven't read it, so I'm going to reread this. And tackle the second one. But I love this book because it centers around Linus, who is a caseworker, and he gets assigned to check out this orphanage. He ends up going to check out the orphanage and falls in love with the kids that are there. The characters are just so lovable. They all have magical powers, which make them, I think, a little misunderstood, and that's why the town around them doesn't necessarily take a liking to the kids from the orphanage. But it is just a nice, cozy read. The main tropes in this book are found family, of course, love and acceptance. No matter who you are, everyone's different. We have to love each other for our differences. Letting go of past prejudices and seeing people for what they really are. Another cozy read that I really loved, I just read this fall, is The Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches by Sangu Mandana. This book was so nice. It gave me some Cerulean Sea vibes. I loved the setting on this book. I loved her attic room and the description of it. It just sounded so cozy that I just wanted to go there and cozy up with the book right along with her and make some magical spells with her. But we're following our main character, Mika Moon, who is hired to go to Nowhere House and be a tutor for these 3 magical girls. And it talks about Mika's past, where she's in this very secret society for irregular witches because the witches believe that too many witches in one area causes too much power in one area, and it just goes haywire. So she's not supposed to be tutoring these girls because there's 3 witches basically in this house, and it's a lot of magic. So she's tutoring these girls on how to control their magic, and in the process she falls in love with the librarian that works there, and there are a couple other people that live there as well and run Nowhere House. And it talks about her past as how lonely she was and because she was so isolated because she couldn't be around a lot of witches all at once. And it's just that same vibe of found family, of love and acceptance, and it was just really good. So another thing I like to do with my cozy reads is to make up a cozy mystery basket. The mysteries I pick up at book sales for $1 a piece. Some sewing mysteries. I've got some with cats and some in the library. I just like to have these around for times when I really need it, like now. And some of my favorite cozy mystery series are Bookmobile Cat Mysteries. And those are written by Lori Cass, and I believe they take place in Michigan. It's centered around a librarian that is in charge of driving the bookmobile to areas that they can't necessarily go to the library, or it's just kind of out in the country or whatever. And it just centers on that town and the charming characters, and of course she's always in the right place at the right time and is in the middle of a murder mystery. But I just really love the setting. I love, of course, the books, the cats, and it kind of reminds me of a Gilmore Girls meets Murder, She Wrote. Another series that I love is the Magical Cat series by Sophie Kelly, and our main character is Kathleen. She is a librarian too. I mean, what it is about librarian cats, you can't get any cozier than that. She's a librarian, and she came from a big city, and she moved to Mayville Heights to take a library position just to see if she liked it, and she ended up staying. It's Hercules and Owen are her 2 cats, and they have magical powers. One of them can walk through walls, I believe, and the other one appears and disappears. And of course, she too ends up at the right place at the right time to solve these mysteries of these people that have been killed in their cozy little town. Another great series that I like is the Wishcrafter series by Heather Blake. This follows the main character, Darcy Merriweather, who lives with her Aunt V and her sister in the Enchanted Village in Salem, Massachusetts. So most of the inhabitants of this village have magical powers. Some don't, but they don't realize that they're living in an enchanted village. But the people in town there that have these magical powers have different ones, they're wishcrafters. So their business in town is As You Wish, and it is a concierge service. Other people might be cure crafters, which would be the doctors and the nurses in town. We also have cloak crafters, who are the seamstresses, and charm crafters, which would make all the healing potions. So you get the picture. So they're all they all have these talents, and some have two mixed together, but one is more prominent. So it's a very interesting town, and again, it's just super cozy, and of course they have some mystery, and of course they're always in the right place at the right time with some murder mystery. Again, super cozy. I highly recommend these. And if you like the cozy books, I also have some other recommendations. Sarah Durst's Spell Shop, I recommend, is very good. And there's another one now called The Enchanted Greenhouse, which is on my list to read. Also, Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies can be maybe considered a cozy read.